Hey there, this is Holly's Rockin' Recipes, and I'm Holly, and thanks for checking me out. So today I'm going to be making my Georgia burger, and this is a burger that is stuffed with blue cheese, candied pecans, or pecans if you're from Georgia, and it is topped with balsamic, caramelized Vidalia onions. And of course, Vidalia onions are from Vidalia, Georgia, so between the pecans and the Vidalia onions, I had to call it the Georgia burger. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the caramelized onions. Now they're really easy to do. They're just time consuming because they cook low and slow. So I get a big pot like this and I cut up about 5 Vidalia onions and they filled this entire pot. It seems like a lot, but they really cook down. So with the 5 sliced onions, and I put them in pieces about like that, the slices, I put in a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 4 tablespoons of butter, and about a tablespoon of salt. And I put that on the stovetop on medium-low for about an hour, and I just let it cook low and slow. I stir it every, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes, and then you get this gorgeous glazed, balsamic glazed, caramelized Vidalia onions. It is so good. It smells so good, and that little bit of balsamic in there just really sends it over the top. So that is the topping for our Georgia burger, and the only other thing I have to get together is the candied pecans. Now of course you can buy candied pecans, but making them is so simple, and I'll show you how I do it. So to make the candied pecans, what I have in here in the pan, I have it on medium-high heat. I have 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar. I have about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I have about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to drizzle in a tiny bit of water just to get it going. And this cooks up so quick. And these candied pecans are so addictive. Just to eat them by themselves, they're so good to snack on. So as you can see, this just starts to melt up. All that brown sugar and a little bit of salt to bring out the sweetness. And I'm just going to put in a little bit more water. And this is, like I said, on medium-high heat. So I'm just going to get this all to bubble. Make sure all that brown sugar is broken up. And now I'm going to put in a cup of, these are already chopped pecans, but I'm still going to chop them up probably a little bit more before I put them in the burgers. And I just coat them. So I just give them a spin around in the bubbling brown sugar mixture for about a minute. They smell so good. That cinnamon hits the heat and it just smells so good. And then right there, I am going to stop. And I have a sheet tray with parchment paper on it. And I'm just going to pour these candied pecans onto the parchment. Try and separate them as much as I can. And then once they cool and harden up, I can break them apart and chop them up, and they'll be ready to go into our Georgia burger with the blue cheese. Now I'm just going to put my Georgia burger together. So I have about 1.25 pounds of ground beef, and to that I have added 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, 1 teaspoon of chopped rosemary, chopped really finely, and just some salt and pepper. And the rosemary is pretty strong, so I don't put a lot of that in there. And I use the liquid smoke because I'm actually going to bake these in the oven because I don't have a grill, but I love that smoky flavor, so that's why I usually add the liquid smoke. So I'm just going to form the burgers kind of like a portobello mushroom cap so that we can get the filling in there. So I form it just like that, and then I get the blue cheese and candied pecans into the center. Get a little more blue cheese in there. And then, once I have that done, I'm just gonna make another burger the same way to be in the shape of a portobello mushroom cap to put on the top. And then we kind of seal the top and the bottom together to get the stuffed burger. These are really easy to do, but they taste like a gourmet burger for sure. So the top goes on, and I just make sure that I pinch around the sides so that the blue cheese and the candied pecans don't sneak out when it's cooking. And that's it. So I've got 3 more to do. Like I said, about 1.25 pounds will get you 4 burgers like that. And I put it on a rack that's been sprayed with cooking spray, and then the rack has been put obviously on a baking sheet. And I put foil on there to help with the cleanup because of the extra fat that will come off of the burger. So there we go. And it's ready to go in the oven on 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And when it comes out, we will top it with this beautiful balsamic caramelized Vidalia onion topping. Now I took my Georgia burger out of the oven and it smells fantastic. And one of the things I love the most about this burger is just the contrast of the tartness of the blue cheese against the sweetness and the texture of the candied pecans, and then the sweetness of the caramelized onions up on top. And that looks and smells amazing. I don't even want a bun to go with this. So put some caramelized onions up on top before I take a bite. So you've got to try this Georgia burger, no matter where you're from. That is so good. Georgia burger makes me want to dance.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song